Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. This is your daily forecast. It is for all signs, and it is a broad spectrum reading. It's like an energy read, basically, for the collective. So I do speak in broad terms. You have to figure out if and where it fits in your life. If it doesn't fit, that's okay. It doesn't mean that anything's wrong or broken. You might just be working on something different at this time than what this reading is about. This reading is originally created for Friday, the 4th of November. It is not solely set for that date, though. If you're seeing it on a different date and it still makes sense to your situation or whatever you're dealing with or however you're feeling, by all means, utilize the reading. I believe that readings find us when they need to rather than, when they were originally created for. For those of you that are new, please check out the drop-down menu underneath any of my daily videos. In there is just some things I want you to think about when utilizing my channel, what decks I'm using in the video, how to contact me via social media, especially if you want a private reading, because those are available. And then also easy ways to support the channel. A great way to support the channel is if you enjoy my content, continue watching it and hit the thumbs up button, right? Sharing it out with your friends on your social medias, in your groups, that also is a huge help. Subscribing to the channel helps too. And then leaving a question or comment, especially if you're new to me and you watch. If you have a question about something that I say or do, or, a card, please, by all means. I do read the comments and I like them, and sometimes I'll respond, depending. I will be referring back to the Sunday reading, which is the underpinning energy. So if you hear me talking about cards that you don't see present here, that's okay. Those cards are in the video that populates in the lower left-hand corner at the end of this video. You can check that out too. All right, let's see what the cards want us to know for today. I love how this deck shuffles, this Cosmic Slumber deck. It shuffles beautifully. All right, so we have the Eight of Swords. Interesting thing to me about this Eight of Swords, though, usually the Eight of Swords is about feeling restricted. Swords is the mind, right? And yesterday we had the Six of Swords. So we're definitely in our thoughts in these last few days, right? And not only is it the mind and our thoughts, but also how we can communicate those thoughts, right? Are we effective at communicating? Eights are about balance. But the Eight of Swords is about feeling restricted or not feeling like you can move forward, right? That's the blindfold on this person here. The interesting thing that I find with this one is this actually has a really positive feeling to me. Excuse me. This card feels almost like he's disco dancing or she's disco dancing amidst her thoughts or her swords, right? And the way that I'm going to take this, or what's kind of forming in my mind, is that even if we have troublesome thoughts or thoughts that, might get in our way or work against us, I think that this card is indicating that there's a way to sort of play with them or have fun with them, acknowledge them and honor them, even if they are maybe scary or limiting. But we don't have to be bound by them, right? She's actually grabbing two of the Eight Swords there. And really, honestly, even though it's the Eight Swords, she's grabbing two and creating the Six that we saw yesterday, which is moving to calmer waters. We have the Six in front of us, right? But I feel like she's like working with her thoughts, right? She's not necessarily restricted. She feels to me like she's almost dancing within her thoughts or seeing how her thoughts and where her thoughts take her. The color of her dress also, that to me is a color, that shade of blue is about joy and amusement, right? It's an energy that is hard to kind of stick to in negativity. So I feel like even though the Eight of Swords indicates like being stuck, I don't feel like we're stuck with this Eight of Swords. The other aspect about this card, I'm sorry my camera keeps going out of focus. I don't know what it's trying to focus on where it keeps getting blurry. The other thing I'll say about this is that those planets up above her feel like we're kind of lining ourselves up. So whatever work we are doing with our thoughts, I think that we need to embrace them. Remember, that is the grounding stone that underpins all this entire week. So embracing not our negative thoughts, but maybe being aware and playful with where we limit ourselves, and then like kind of working within it, right? To go from the 8 back to that 6, to that calmer mind, that clearer communication. We can do that today. We can embrace who we are. We can allow things to line up. That's the planets in the background. we can allow things to line up and indicate us. And then this blindfold to me isn't necessarily limiting either. To me, it feels like we're intuitively moving through our thoughts, not necessarily giving them the power that they normally would have. Yes, they may feel limiting, but I almost get this sense of like, I want to say not joy, but like play or she's also confident the way she's standing there, straightforward. You know, normally the Eight of Swords, her arms are bound. This Eight of Swords, she's not. She's like, fuck this. I'm taking two of these swords and I'm making them work for me, right? And in doing so, I'm creating the Six of Swords, which makes less of a barrier, which makes for clearer thought and communication, which lines me up with maybe, say, the universe or what's going on around me. And it empowers me on a certain level, right? Where we're not letting ourselves be victim to it or feeling restrained like, woe is me. This is like, no, let's dance, bitch. Like, let's get in here and work with this. Like, I see you fear. I see you anxiety. What do you want to do to me today? Like, and instead of being in resistance to it, going like, okay, so, oh, you want me to look at life through that lens? Well, that's an interesting lens, but how about let's do this? And then we lift those thoughts up and we move them in a way or choose a different thought to where we make them work for us. Now, I'm not going to say that the Eight of Swords is not a challenging card, but I feel like this person here is ready for that challenge, right? They're not necessarily victim or stuck in that challenge is my feeling. So embrace anything that comes up today. And there's that word again. Embrace any thoughts or like unclear communication that does come up today within ourselves or within our mind and look at it, examine it, but examine it from an internal place. That's the blindfold we see there. Don't give it more power than it deserves is kind of the feeling that I'm getting. You know what I mean? We don't have to like allow it to run riot in our mind and in how we communicate. We can actually take it, embrace it, and understand ourselves better. Now let's go to the Hip Hop Queen's Oracle. Okay, it is Sawiti and it's style. Look at her face. She's got an allure to her, a quiet confidence, a sort of knowing, right? She's a sly knowing. And I feel like that's some of this playfulness or this sort of like internal awareness of, yeah, maybe things aren't perfect. Yeah, maybe I'm not thinking things exactly how they should be, or maybe I'm a little bit anxious or worried or in fear, but I can work with this. And there's a certain style, like with, I think, first off, I'm going to say Sweetie, her name means like embrace ourselves, be our own sweetie today, be our own champion today. Whatever we're thinking, however we're communicating, even if it's great, good, feels restrictive, whatever, love on yourself a little bit. Call yourself Sweetie, right? Like give yourself a little bit of love, compassion. Look at her with her cute little Gucci bag, like, you know, style your flair, like work your, and this blue dress too is also very flary. I love that she's tied with a pink ribbon rather than the white ribbon that we traditionally see. That pink ribbon reminds me of the heart chakra, right? So there's a positive outcome to this day or to this challenge if we're presented with one that actually allows us to kind of work our own magic, is my feeling, our own style, our own capability and how we approach this. And we don't have to approach it from a place of resistance or fear or fighting, right? We approach it from, okay, this ain't working for me. So I see you there. I understand that's what you're trying to say to me, but let me pick this thought up and rearrange it in a way that does suit me because I have that ability. So let me read you Sawiti. Where is she? I love this. I hope we get to see a lot of these women. And a lot of these women I'm learning about as I go, which I think is great. All right, so she is fashion, sweetness, elegance, chic, and optimism. The first line of Sawiti's first single, Icy Girl, invokes the spirit of Puff Daddy. Can't stop, won't stop. She spits those words out before launching into bars about the good life filled with luxurious vacays and designer threads. The backstory here, however, is that Sweetie wrote this song in her car during the lowest point in her life. That's the Eight of Swords, guys. And that's just taking these swords and changing them into something powerful for us. She manifested her future success, pressurizing coal into diamonds with her single, My Type. While hard times didn't break Sweetie, they also didn't infiltrate her lyrics, which are steeped in slickness and sophistication. Her aesthetic matches the music, and what is sweeter than that? When you're feeling down, there are many ways to pick yourself back up. Sometimes it's merely speaking that positivity into existence. Other times, livening up your physical appearance or with a new wardrobe or a new haircut will do the trick. Let your exterior shake up your interior. When you look good, you feel good. I think that, and that's this disco dancing that I'm getting from this Eight of Swords. Like, she is liberating herself, people. She's not like, she's like, look at my cute blue dress. Look at my pink sash. Okay, maybe I got some shit to deal with, but you know what? I'm going to do this damn thing, and I'm going to be sweet to myself while I do it, and I'm going to do it with style, and I'm going to line it all up. I'm going to trust the planets, the spirit, the grand scheme of things, and understand I'm exactly where I need to be, even if that, isn't like, even if I'm dealing with some troublesome thoughts. All right, let's go to the clarifiers. We have Queen of Cups. Nurturing, loving, intuitive. That's that intuition that I see with that pink blindfold. She's also this name Sweetie, right? This is about trusting our emotions and being kind to ourselves. The Queen is always cups upon cups. She's the most emotionally available card of the deck, right? She's going to be the one that's going to sort of love us through, or the energy or the nurturing that we need as we work through these thoughts. But she also empowers us to stand up in that big, beautiful blue dress and take it, to a place of, like with that embrace stone, it's like we can take it to a place of almost enjoyment today, is my feeling from these cards. Like, I feel like we're not pinned down at all. We're looking at things from a different perspective, and we're able to sort of stand in whatever our truth is and almost create our truth. Yesterday's grounding stone was the word create. This Eight of Swords, when she's picking up those two swords and creating a Six of Swords, she's creating a better environment or better set of thoughts for herself. But she's also like doing so with a little bit of, like, I don't know, excitement or joy. Now, the next card is the Chariot. Also water influence associated with Cancer. Chariot is major arcana. This is fast forward movement. This is championship, right? This is celebration. This is victory. So we can be victorious in whatever it is that we might be sort of rearranging in our mind, or rearranging in how we communicate, or rearranging within our own personal style of how we may deal with a situation, or even if it's something as surface as how we look, right? We're doing it from a place of love and compassion and kindness, and from intuition, emotion, but we're moving forward confidently, powerfully, quickly, with a direction, with a precision. That would be the Chariot's energy. The Chariot being associated with Cancer is also that mothering, nurturing energy that we see in the Queen of Cups, right? It's that sort of not giving up, not like Sweetie's story, right? She wrote some of her best, like in writing her lyrics at the lowest time while living in a car, she was writing about the things she wanted and eventually sort of created them through her lyrics. She stayed true to like she didn't let the limitation of her thoughts stop her from getting her to where she needed to be. And then the last card, speaking of thoughts, is the King of Swords. He's an authority. He's, swords upon swords. He is clarity, logic. I love that the Queen of Cups is here, which is emotions, and the King of Swords is here, which is logic and thought. Whatever is challenging us today is going to actually be the very thing that empowers us, is my feeling. And that we do maintain a clarity, or we do achieve a clarity today that moves us forward in such a way that it's quite powerful with the King and Queen both here. And I'll say this, our mind and our emotions, our intuition are lining up, guys. Like, we could be releasing ourselves from whatever Eight of Swords moment was going on for us previous to this. And that's why that Eight of Swords presents itself like it's almost dancing itself away to a better, more lined up perspective, truth, right? Because the King of Swords is going to bring truth with him and value, truth and logic. I think this is a really powerful shift day, is what I want to say. Let me go to the grounding stone. I will say this too, I'm getting a little flack on the King of Swords, like, don't accept anything that's not true today. And you'll intuitively know it. You'll emotionally feel it. Like, if anybody else is trying to give you something or tell you something that's limiting in any sort of way, do not take that shit. Do not go That's the freedom that I see in that Eight of Swords. It's like, no, I'm not going to restrict myself by other people's thoughts, lies, or whatever. And I'm not saying that anybody is lying to us, but the King of Swords does protect us from that, or that logic, that wisdom, that shrewdness also. And then the intuition of the Queen of Swords lets us know that we can feel it, and then we can understand it and logically know whether or not it's right for us. The grounding stone today is desire. What is it that we want? Sweetest Story, back to Sweetest Story. She wrote about the things that she wanted, even though her reality was something very, very different. So focusing on that desire, grounding in that desire, freeing ourselves from the limitations of whatever we place on that desire, and then moving forward towards it, both clear in our thoughts and our emotions, is going to be key today. Embrace all of it, you guys. It should be an amazing day, is my feeling. I really like this reading a lot. It feels like we're transitioning or graduating to a different level in how we perceive or feel, and how we let those, it's like we're taking control. We're stepping up to the plate and changing these things and moving forward. That is your reading for the day. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, share the video out, guys. Help me get the word out there. Leave me a question or comment. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow to see how this all, changes, and take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.